Welcome to Series of 10, a platform that aims to support and encourage the journey of faith in Jesus Christ. Series of 10 will serve to expound upon the subject matters presented on the Seeker's Life podcast by highlighting one unique topic each session and addressing 10 points total on that topic. I'm Ezra, and it's been a long-time passion of mine to share the various learnings that I've had on my personal journey of faith. These have all taken shape in light of a slew of very conflicted experiences that radically shifted my course and trajectory on the subject of religion in the context of Christianity. Many of you will more than likely find numerous points shared in this series relatable. But there are other points that will undoubtedly challenge a number of common narratives that do not align with the truth of what doctrinal faith actually consists of. One of the core themes that will be foundational in this series is the fact that every doctrinal truth is by definition biblical truth. But not every biblical truth is by application doctrinal truth. The failure to make the appropriate distinctions as is necessary in recognizing how the Bible is actually outlined and how its meaning is factually applied is an obstruction of faith that has been met with disastrous results over the course of time. It has seen the rise of so many church groups, denominations, ministries, and ministers claiming to uphold and represent the truths of the Bible and Christianity, Judeo-Christian values and spiritual disciplines, while at the same time warring against the foundation of the truth in Christ established in the message specifically given to Paul, who was his apostle appointed to Gentiles, non-Jews. Paul did minister to both Jews and Gentiles equally, but even so, as a witness to a specific revelation that he made known concerning God's work of grace in Christ, as it was revealed for the purpose of saving Gentiles outside of Israel. Paul's ministry service was centered on those who expressed faith-oriented belief in the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, apart from the religious conventions of Judaism. Paul, who was himself a Jew and very much acquainted with the laws and ordinances of Israel, declared that faith in Christ is not identity-based, whether that be race, color, or ethnicity, gender, lifestyle, or class, or any other earth-centered, world-centric disposition of humanity. Paul makes it clear that faith in Christ is solely Christ-based, to the exclusion of every other delimiting factor of humankind within the world, which is ultimately made subject in Christ to the will of God who abides in heaven. But for so many believers whose minds and efforts are predisposed to indulging faith as though it is the subject of the world, inclusive of human persuasions, earthly endeavors, sensual notions, and mystical experiences, the substance of Christ is diluted by vain imaginations that are not an expression or representation of the true faith. Many of the matters that this series will address will be case-specific, but all will have broader implications that will ultimately uncover a great deal of the misleading and contriving that permeates much of the messaging and practices promoted as Christian, which have been intermingled with foreign elements that deprive the centrality of faith of its genuine substance. That faith is the inspiration of God's Spirit that gives no accommodation or accreditation to the fleshly works of human agencies and personalities fashioned after self-indulgence, emotional performance, and suggestive ideologies. The goal of this platform is to present the understanding of biblical faith as simply, soundly, and substantively as possible, leaving no doubt or speculation on the table as to what it truly entails. and to accurately present the scriptural contexts through which faith is defined and applied doctrinally. Of course, there will always be questions to ask and want for answers, but there will also be more than enough food for thought and room for exploration along the way. I'm happy to invite you to embark on this journey of discovery with me, seeking truth and embracing understanding in Christ, as we delve into topics of faith in a series of 10.